Yes, so here we go with the opening race of the night then in the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations. Brock Nicol and Luke Becker up against Bartosz Smarslik and Dominik Kubera. Smarslik, of course, the back-to-back champion of the world. Good to see him here. Good to see him representing his country. There are some riders, for various reasons, that are not in the semi-final stages over this weekend. Certainly Artem Laguta is one of them, and also Matej Zegar of Slovenia, who's not here tonight, but his country are. Watching on is the young USA reserve, Blake Borello. Brock Nicol and Luke Becker are the USA partnership, both ride for Wolverhampton in the British Speedway scene, and Bartosz Smarslik and Dominik Kubera for Poland. So it is USA up against Poland in the opening race of the night. A reminder, 4 points for a win, 3 for second, 2 for third, nothing for finishing last. Team manager's advice, quite simply, avoid a last place, and a little bit of a movement on the inside gate didn't help the USA there. Luke Becker very, very nervous indeed, and Poland are off and running. It is Bartosz Smarslik in the white helmet, Dominik Kubera in yellow, but Luke Becker was extremely nervous there. He's got third spot as things stand. Man at the back is Brock Nicol right now, but Becker didn't help himself there, Kel.
No, he was impatient on the start line and nervous. Track is super slick in this opening race. We did witness the track preparation prior to racing commencing, and a lot of tar packing going on. And the Polish boys out of gates 2 and 4 made it look quite easy. They're on a 7-point haul at this stage. You can see Bartosz Smarslik there just running a little bit wide. He's keeping an eye on Kubera. Kubera, of course, had a fabulous run in those back-to-back Grand Prix in his home club in Lublin. They're into the last lap. And this is I think this is pretty much what we expected from this heat. The experience of the Polish boys coming to the fore with Becker. Well, he's trying everything he can in third.
Yeah, Smarslik riding a nice line around the outside and just looking over his shoulder for Kubera. As you said, very impressive in Lublin in the GP as wildcard. And it's a perfect start for Team Poland with Smarslik and Kubera. Let me just check. 4 for a win, 3 for second. Are we doing our programmes right?
That makes 7.
Yes, are we doing our programmes correctly?
2 for third, that makes 2.
Yes, so important to remember that when you're filling a race card in the Speedway of Nations. The only time, really, when you go 4-3-2-0 to encourage a bit of team riding. Dream start, 7-2 in favour of Poland. A reminder, the top 2 after 21 races go through to Bellevue, and there will be a race-off for the third team to go through.
Yeah, well, heat number 1 is done and dusted without too much incident. A little bit, I think that's probably the most exciting thing that happened, actually. Luke Becker jumping on the start line, because, in truth, from that moment on, the two boys from Poland dominated the race. Track slick, very difficult to do very much out there at this very early stage. Looking at the back of the world champion there, Bartosz Smarslik, who made a great start and came steaming across from the outside to join his teammate. Kubera, of course, replacing Janowski. Janowski, who was leading the World Championship at the very early stages, but has been out of form of late. And Kubera must have got in. Rafael Dubroki, who's the new team manager for Poland, must have been very impressed with his performances in the GP. Hence, he is here representing Poland this weekend.
Yes, and Poland's depth of talent, of course. They've had World Under-21 champions. We know what a dominating nation Poland are, and they're getting more and more dominant on the world stage as well.
Well, no sign of that changing in the near future.
Indeed.
But they are a powerhouse right now, the Poles, that's for sure.
Czech Republic coming up here against the Danes, and it's Václav Milik and Josef Frank up against Leon Madsen and Mikkel Mikkelsen, and a significant day, by the way, when it comes to Denmark, because certainly my thoughts a little bit earlier were back to 1989. Today is the day, the anniversary of the 1989 World Cup final when Eric Gundersen crashed, and England went and won the World Cup with you as captain, Kel.
Yes, that was a bittersweet day, that's for sure. Some time ago now, but crikey, it was a great day until we found out the extent of Eric's injuries. But yeah, pleased to see that Eric is still up and about. Hans Nielsen now there, the 4-time World Speedway champion, Danish team manager. Here we go. Yep,
here we go with the second race of the night then, and it's a good start for the Danes here, looking good. Man in the yellow helmet colour is Mikkel Mikkelsen, and then alongside him is Leon Madsen. Leon Madsen, the former world number 2. Partner is Mikkel Mikkelsen, who is the reigning European champion, who's the other rider involved in that horrific spill with Freddie Lindgren last weekend. And both riders back here tonight, 6 days later, racing for their country, which is great to see.
It is, and Mikkel Mikkelsen was out of control at that moment. He's not out of control at the moment because he looks really good out in front. Leon Madsen makes a good start. Gates 2 and 4 working well again in heat number 2. Not a big disparity in performance here, because once again we're seeing the one of the pre-meeting favourites in the Danish team roaring away out in front. Jack is very slick, I must say, and it's sort of powdery material, not a lot to hold it together, so not too much here. But the Danes are so far in front of the Czech Republic, it is quite stark in the gap. But Mikkel Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen winning very comfortably.
7 points for Denmark. That'll do them nicely, and a dramatic fall from grace, really, for Václav Milik, because he was, as a Czech Republic wildcard in the Grand Prix and riding in the Extraliga in Poland, Václav Milik really was a world-class talent up until the last couple of years, where he seems to have disappeared off the radar, really, as we just confirmed the result for you for heat number 2. Czech Republic 2, Denmark 7.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, he made the rostrum as a wild card in Prague on at least one occasion. He was really looking like he was going to be he was on the cusp of being a full-time Grand Prix rider, but he got transferred away from Wrocław in the Extraliga to Rybnik. They got relegated, and since that time we haven't really seen much of him, and that's a shame, because he is a really good rider. Two very good riders out in front here, and Milik and Leon Madsen. Once again, gates 2 and 4 working really well. And Mikkelsen, already from gate 4, is having a look for his teammate. No real pressure for the Danes, a very comfortable opening ride for them. An action replay of heat number 1 for the Poles here, really, where Josef Frank and Václav Milik really weren't able to land a blow at all. These boys just too quick out in front, picking up the maximum score. That'll please them. Leon Madsen said in his pre-meeting interview, they do not want to go to the last chance race tonight. We're riding like that. They won't.
Indeed. And we build up to the next race, heat number 3, Freddie Lindgren. Now, the crash that he was involved in last weekend was one of the most horrifying I've seen. It was like a cannonball incident as he went into the fence. And actually in the week, on social media, a picture emerged of him on a cannon, actually modelling himself like the cannonball crash. It was remarkable. Ivacic and Skoria for Slovenia here, and it is Freddie Lindgren and Pontus Aspergren for Sweden. But yeah, remarkable to see Freddie okay. It was a horrifying incident. We were worried at the time, Kelf, and here he is, riding the bike again 6 days later.
It's a minor miracle that both of them got up, and particularly Freddie Lindgren. Fortunately, he caught the air fence, and apart from a slightly damaged right hand, he's fine, and he's ready to go, and he's here representing his country. He comes out of the outside gate here. That's worked brilliantly so far. I'm expecting the Swedish pair to dominate proceedings here in heat number 3. Got to say, overtaking after 2 races is looking unlikely. I do hope that conditions improve, but this track with this powdery, sandy surface, it's been difficult so far. Here we are. We're looking at Lindgren on the outside now.
Yeah, it's not just the surface, it's the disparity in riders' ability as well, I would suggest. And Sweden are off and running here now with Aspergren in yellow, and Lindgren will come around the outside in white and makes it look so easy. Look, the man in the blue helmet colour in this race is Nick Skoria, who we've seen as a wild card in the Slovenian Grand Prix in Kershko in recent years, and actually was lined up for a second division appearance for Newcastle in Great Britain, but that didn't work out because of travel issues. He's actually having a go here against the man in the yellow helmet colour, Pontus Aspergren, but Sweden looking comfortable on a 7-2 as things stand at the moment. The opening 3 races are looking like a 7-2 whitewash in every individual race.
It is indeed, and gates 2 and 4 clearly the right place to be in the opening part of the meeting. Skoria is having a go in 3rd place, but Aspergren is now beginning to pull away. Not great speedway at this early stage, I've got to say, because conditions are just not quite there to enable anybody to have a real go from behind. But I take your point as well, Nige, that the disparity between the teams is quite stark. It's obvious there, but a world-class performer out in front. Freddie Lindgren back on the bike, enjoying himself, roaring to victory for Sweden.
Ah, brilliant. Freddie Lindgren gets the victory, and guess what I've just done? 3 points by his name. It's 4. It's 4 in the Speedway
have to change that, Nigel.
I've got to adjust my habits for the next 48 hours. Yes. 7-2.
I won't be far behind you. Do you know that's 7-7-7?
3 teams on 7, yeah.
3 teams on 7. And the 3 major teams, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah, and you're quite right. It's not great speedway in the first 3 races. Because of the disparity in the riders. It is a qualifier, it is the semi-final stages this weekend.
looking at Freddie there, just coming charging around the outside. Good to see him back on the bike, looking good. Aspergen was off the pace for a couple of laps, but then settled down and then pulled away from Skorja in third place. So a comfortable 7 points for the Swedes, and they'll be pleased because their main opposition in Poland and Denmark tonight have also got maximum points out of the opening race. Bit of a debrief going on there in the pits, but I shouldn't think there's too much to report.
Now we have Finland appearing for the first time tonight. Timo Lahti in red and Tero Arnio in the blue helmet colours. Two riders very familiar to our British viewers. And Brock Nickel and Luke Becker. Yes, Luke Becker on a warning after his movement at the start of heat number 1 tonight. But a quick turnaround, because here they are in heat number 4. And America already know that they have to strike a blow here against Finland. Yeah. Perhaps more of an even spread of rider in this race.
What I would say is that the Americans have got an advantage. They've already had a ride. So that's where this system doesn't quite stand up, with Finland having their first ride. But we'll wait and see, because I think they've got gates 1 and 3, gates 2 and 4 for the Americans this time. Luke Becker, I think, is a race winner here. I fancy him.
Well, we shall see. It's heat 4 of the semi-final 1 of the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations.
What a start
that is from the man in the white helmet colour, Brock Nickel, and Luke Becker is alongside him. This is better from the USA. Luke Becker in yellow, Brock Nickel in the white helmet colour, and charging around the outside here is Timo Lahti of Finland, really putting pressure on Brock Nickel there in the first race. I wonder whether Christy Gardell considered putting the red light on there, but no tapes were touched. And here, once again, comes Timo Lahti, just putting a bit of pressure on Brock Nickel of the USA.
Well, Timo Lahti knows this place well. He rode for the club for a couple of years, maybe 3 seasons, I think he said. And he's coming on strong in third place. Nickel made a fantastic start. He's not getting any help at all from his teammate, Becker, who's cleared off out in front. Nickel is well and truly on his own. He's the captain of America. Timo Lahti, I'll tell you what, he's coming on. Could we see the first overtake? 1 lap to go. Nickel is having to ride a defensive line around the inside, excuse me. Becker is on the outside. He's cleared off. Lahti, will he be able to get up the inside? No, I don't think so. Should be 7 points to Team USA.
Yes, and down to the line. Lahti's having a go. Oh, I think Nickel just about held on. Good effort. Really good effort from Timo Lahti there. But, you know, this tournament is all about team riding, avoiding last place. And I don't want to sound critical too much here, but maybe Luke Becker could have looked over his shoulder a little bit and slowed down a touch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was no team riding going on at all, and the Americans are famous for it. But for Becker there, he hit the front and was enjoying himself. Brock Nickel was under a lot of pressure back in second place, but he held on with a lot of pressure coming on from Timo Lahti out of the last corner. 7 points to USA, though.
Yep, 7 points to Team USA, moves them on to 9, which means they are ahead in the meeting after 4 heats. But the other nations have got a race in hand. Here we go with Heat 5 then. It's Poland against the Czech Republic. Bartosz Marslik and Dominik Kubera in red and blue. And it's Václav Milik and Josef Pepe Frank, well known for his time in British Speedway with the likes of Newcastle Diamonds and Berwick Bandits. Yeah. Had a brief spell at Sheffield as well.
I remember him riding for Berwick, actually. Yes. And I tell you, he's also a good long track rider. He's had some really good performances in the World Championships periodically. But Pepe Frank now been around some time, and can provide a surprise at times, and Milik certainly can, but on the evidence of the last couple of seasons, out of form. So Kubera and Smarslik, red-hot favourites here for the big 7 points. I believe they'll be looking for it. They'll be settling down and ready to go on gates 1 and 3. Start marshal being a little bit over. Here we go, Nige.
Yeah, it's Smarslik in red and Kubera in blue, and a mess at the start. Yeah, straight after the grading break.
Took too long to get them ready there.
Yeah, it took ages, didn't it? So, slight delay here as the Polish boys, Bartosz and Dominik, compare notes. And we await...
Kubera won't be in the Grand Prix next year. We'll see what happens here. Oh, yeah. Pepe Frank just went straight in. I don't know whether Smarslik was moving on the inside. We don't see that.
No.
We don't see that angle at the moment. I was just reflecting on Kubera for a minute because he's forced his way into the team. I would have expected him to have been in a 4-man team, but the pairs team, of course, you've got Dudek, who's re-qualified. We've got an exclusion here.
Yes, it's Pepe Frank, tapes exclusion, which is a shame for him. And here we see the angle. Well, we can't see, just about see Frank moving there.
Well, we can deduce that he went too early.
We can deduce that it's, this is better.
There we go.
This is the one, oh, dear me. Not even close, is it?
Fairly emphatic, that. No grey area there for Joseph Frank. Gave him the big build-up and he's led us down. But
not doing that again.
No. We'll just sort of say, the fella in yellow is Frank. Yeah. But no, I sense that Cabrera, just reflecting on his performances in Lublin and then again in Melilla, he did 3 consecutive Grand Prix. That's quite a feat for him because, when you look at the depth of riders, Dudek has re-qualified for the Grand Prix as well. He hasn't been considered. Janowski's in the Grand Prix. So Dubroki has been quite brave because there's a lot of pressure in Poland. The spotlight is on the sport there. So Dubroki has given the opportunity to the youngster Cabrera.
Indeed, and he's a fine rider. We know that. We've seen that in the GP already. Surely a Grand Prix rider of the future, Dominic Cabrera, you would think.
Yes.
So here we go with heat number 5. Once again here, 3 riders only. You would fancy Poland for 7 points, and they made a good start. Vaclav Milik can't quite get there in the white helmet colour. It is the back-to-back champion of the world, Bartosz Marslik in red, Dominic Cabrera in blue. One thing they will do, they will look out for each other here, the Polish boys.
I don't know if they did there.
No, maybe a slight misunderstanding, but Marslik in his opening ride was looking over his shoulder all the time towards Cabrera, and at any time now he'll look over. There you go, he was looking over his shoulder again there, Marslik.
Maybe this was pre-planned that Marslik fancied riding on the outside, so he dive-bombed his teammate there to make sure they made that move early on.
Slowing down, look now.
Yeah, he is, so that's where they felt more comfortable quite clearly that way around.
Luke Becker should be watching this.
Yeah, he should be. Milik. I was going to say that the 2 boys in front from Poland are teammates in Sweden, so they are very familiar with one another. Milik not really being able to land a blow. We haven't seen anybody from behind really get amongst it. And it's going to be it's going to be absolutely vital to make starts here this evening. But out in front, Poland are going to move sweetly on to 14 points, maximum score from their first 2 outings. Good stuff.
Yep, very impressive from Bartosz Marslik and Dominic Cabrera. Marslik regularly coming out of every turn, looking over his shoulder and down the back straight, getting off the gas so that his partner could join him, which was good to see. Probably didn't really need to do it because they were so superior anyway. But only 2 more points for the Czech Republic there. That puts them on 4. They won't be progressing tonight. I think that's fair to say. I'm not really being brave saying that. Bartosz Marslik and Dominic Cabrera up against Vaclav Milik.
I think they probably will.
Yeah. Yep, so it is Poland 14, USA 9 after 2 rides each. The Czech Republic only on 4 points so far. All about the top 2 qualifying for Manchester, the National Speedway Stadium, Bellevue. Imagine this guy, Marslik, blasting around Bellevue. That is going to be unmissable.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'm sure he'll enjoy coming to the National Speedway Stadium, particularly if he wins the World Championship for the 3rd time. And of course, we'll see that in the first weekend of October, where Artem Laguta is leading the championship by a solitary point. Bit of action here from the previous race between Vaclav Milik in 3rd place, but these 2 boys in front, Cabrera and Marslik, too strong. They swapped places. I think that was pre-planned. I think the way that Marslik literally swept underneath his teammate going into turn 3, I figure that was pretty much sorted out. We are now looking at heat number 6 with Madsen and Hansen coming in here. So the first change by Hans Nielsen. He has replaced Mikkel Mikkelsen with his under-21 rider in their second outing.
Well, Mads Hansen won the first round of the World Under-21 Championship recently, so he's in good shape. Here we go with heat number 6, and that switch at reserve. Mads Hansen coming in, he's at the back right now. The lead here, that's a great ride. A lovely ride indeed there from Nick Skoyer of Slovenia. Wonderful move from the former Grand Prix wildcard, and the battle is on here with Leon Madsen in the red helmet colour. Coming through is Hansen, the reserve, the under-21 rider for Denmark right now. This would give them a 5-4 race win. Skoyer out of control.
And again!
Wow.
He's untidy, but he's out in front. Best race of the night. Took Leon Madsen by surprise. Swept round the outside. He's got loads of grip. Madsen's got to get to the front now, and he surely does. Best action by far. Madsen having to work a little harder than he would have wanted to there with Mads Hansen back in 3rd. Got to say that the Slovenians are really giving it everything here, but Madsen now out in front. A lap to go. Skorja in 3rd place.
Ivicic having a go as well.
Ivicic is having a real go on Madsen. Madsen hanging on to 3rd place. So looking like a, 6 6-3, a 6-3, sorry.
Well
6-3, there you go.
Oh dear. Getting used to the new scoring system. We are creatures of habit. And that was a good ride. Nice, tidy ride by Leon Madsen in the end to pass his rival Nick Scoria, who rode really well there. And Mads Hansen picking up a couple of points in heat number 6. So that puts them onto 13 points. And Slovenia with Nick Scoria in second spot there. But that means it's 3 points for the Slovenians there with second spot, and Matic Ivacic at the back on that occasion. Here is how it looks then. And Poland ahead, unbeaten so far, maximum men. Madsen had to work a little bit hard there, Kel.
Yeah, he did, and fair play to Scoria, because he actually manages to take them by surprise. Initially, Madsen on the inside there, and he's drifted out towards the dirt, but Scoria there, a little untidy, but he finds a bit of grip. Finally, there's a bit of grip on the track, and he's coming from gate 4, which has worked well, actually, this evening so far. And this swoop around, Mads Hansen there, the youngster, the under-21 rider for Denmark, just getting himself in a little bit of trouble, but finds his way through into third place to pick up the 2 points. But Leon Madsen, here we see Madsen coming through. Mads Hansen, excuse me.
That's easy for you to say.
Mads Hansen instead of Leon Madsen. And Leon Madsen there just about getting the better of Scoria, who was untidy. I tell you, he was riding like that thing was really, look, alive underneath of him. Very untidy. He's got his foot off the footrest. So, to be honest, he's completely out of control at that stage. He did well to hang on to it.
Yeah.
But Leon Madsen had plenty of room then to dive bomb him up the inside, and the former world number 2 goes on to win the race.
Yeah, good ride by Leon Madsen, the expert insight.
Leon.
Expert insight from Tatum, not Neville, Kelvin. That's right.
Not Nelvin or Kevil. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, but 6 points they scored there, and they'll be indeed reasonably pleased with it.
Change for Finland here. Timi Salonen, the under-21 reserve, is coming in for Tero Arnio. So the Finns making their change very early indeed. And the Swedish under-21 rider is Philippe Hellström-Bangs. And we'll see him at some stage throughout the course of the evening, of course. But this is heat number 7 right now. Poland 14, Denmark 13. That's how it is. It's a reminder that the top 2 go automatically to Manchester without the need of a one-off race-off. This is a little bit tight, look, as Finland's Timo Lahti makes a really tidy start, but Freddie Lindgren picks his pocket up the inside. Pontus Aspergren making it look nice and easy. Now, will Lindgren look over his shoulder? He did do there, a cheeky little look across the left for his teammate and partner there. That is Pontus Aspergren, and Sweden looking good for a 7-2 here.
Yeah, just momentarily, Timo Lahti had them under pressure, but they responded brilliantly coming out of turn 2, and Lindgren just charging up the inside, and his teammate Aspergren followed him through. They're now in full control, and it's looking like the Swedes will pick up the 7 points to move on to 14 in total. Timo Lahti, of course, knows his place well, but he isn't able to quite have the speed to hang on to the 2 boys out in front. Into the last lap, the Swedes looking good here, and the youngster out the back, Salonen, well, a bit of a baptism of fire for him. He's tailed off in 4th place.
I'll tell you what, after what happened 6 days ago, I can't imagine Freddie Lindgren feeling too comfortable when he lifts and heads towards the fence. Psychologically, that must have left a massive effect, but it's 7 points for Sweden. Fast Freddie Lindgren alongside Pontus Aspergren, and that's 14 points out of a possible 14.
Well, he's a tough customer, isn't he, Freddie? And,
absolutely.
You know, quite clearly, probably did well to get back on the bike sooner rather than later, not to dwell on that too much. And good to see him. It looks like he's not showing any after effects at all.
Morgan Anderson just wondering when to throw his under-21 in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it won't be long, I'm sure.
Yeah, Finland 2, Sweden 7. Lindgren and Aspergren once again delivering the goods for Sweden. Who will finish in the top 2? Who will require the one-off race-off to make it to Manchester with the last chance race-off? So top 2 of these 7 nations tonight go to Bellevue for the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations World Final. And then the winner of the race-off join them, and Great Britain. But you're right here, Kelv. Made a good start there. The man in red, Timo Lahti, looked really good and then let it slip.
Yeah, he decided to allow the bike to run wide in the first corner, and Freddie, of course, who's top class, made a nice turn back, allows the bike to drift across in front of him. A little bit naughty, because he could have collected Timo Lahti on the way through, but fortunately he doesn't. But as a consequence of Lindgren's move, then Aspergren was able to capitalise and join his mate out in front, and then really they had no problems at all. You can see the action here. Freddie just occasionally lifting. You're having to detune the bike out there tonight to try and find the grip. And Sweden delighted with that. They're on maximum points from their first 2 outings, so all going swimmingly well for them. And we've got heat number 8 coming out with the Americans and the Czech Republic.
Brock Nicol and Luke Becker up against Václav Milik and Josef Frank. This could be a handy race, a decent race to watch. And we know this Locomotive Stadium in Daugavpils has provided some great entertainment. I remember seeing the Latvian boys getting stuck in here previously and really creating a fantastic atmosphere. They'll be here tomorrow night for the second semi-final. But this is heat number 8. It is Brock Nicol in red and Luke Becker in blue for Team USA, and Václav Milik and Josef Pepe Frank for the Czech Republic. Heat number 8. 2 of the lesser nations here, and they do sit still on the start line, thankfully, that time, and that's a good start from Luke Becker in the blue helmet colour. We have seen him appear in the old World Cup format as well. I remember saying at the time, remember the name, Luke Becker, and he's got the lead here for Team USA. But can Brock Nicol, his teammate and partner, get around into third spot and get a heat advantage for USA? Charging hard in white here for the Czech Republic is Václav Milik. Pepe Frank is the man in yellow, being chased hard by Brock Nicol. And Pepe Frank, 42 years of age these days, just holding that third spot. This would be a race advantage. Oh dear me, Václav Milik. If he stays like this, the Czech Republic win this race 5-4.
They do indeed, and Pepe Frank having to work overtime to get the better of Brocky Nicol, who's out the back. Luke Becker made a good getaway, and it's going to be his first race win of the night for him individually. But Frank in third place, with Milik in second, of course. That's a heat advantage to the Czech Republic, unless Brock Nicol can do something about it on this last lap. Doesn't look like he's going to quite manage to do that, but Becker out in front, that's a handy ride from him.
Yeah, he's a good rider, Luke Becker. Excellent rider, and that's 4 big points for the USA, but Brock Nicol couldn't land a blow, and so it's a race advantage for the Czech Republic with 3 points for second and 2 for third. They win that race by 5 points to 4. And let's just confirm the result for you after 8 races in Daugavpils. Luke Becker first, Václav Milik second, Josef Frank third. 5-4 in favour of Czech Republic. USA on 13, Czech Republic 9. It's Poland and Sweden who lead the way. Right, heat number 9 it is then. Here we go. Denmark up against Poland. Leon Madsen and Mikkel Mikkelsen up against Bartosz Marslik, the back-to-back champion, individual champion of the world, and Dominik Kubera for Polska in heat number 9. And it's quite a lineup, this one. Looking forward to it.
I am. It's the first real match-up of the night, really. And you've got to say that Poland probably just favourites, but there's no question that Leon Madsen has the ability to win the race, but it's not just about winning races with this point scoring, of course. Second and third is better than a win, so it's all about trying to look after your teammate. Last places are to be avoided if at all possible. Kubera, of course, a step up into the limelight now, representing Poland, the strongest nation in Speedway by some distance at this in 2021, that's for sure. And Poland haven't won this competition because it's been dominated by Emil Sayfutinov and Artem Laguta in the first 3 runnings of the Speedway of Nations. So they'll be very keen to try and win it this year with a new team manager in Rafael Dubrocky.
Absolutely. Heat number 9 then. Christer Gardell of Sweden is our referee tonight. The jury president is Christian Froschar from Germany.
Yeah, I know Christian well from Plattling down in Bavaria, a very nice part of the world. Christian and his dad Joseph, who run a big long track meeting down there. Here we go.
Yes, heat number 9 of the semi-final here at the Speedway of Nations, and who's going to emerge here now? It is Mikkel Mikkelsen, tiny riding blue. Now watch out for Smarslik in white. Smarslik won't worry about team riding here. He's going to lay it on the line. Oh, he's out of trouble. My goodness, he recovered that well in the end. Poland are on a heat advantage at the moment as Smarslik tries the inside run. Mikkelsen in blue holding the line, but under severe pressure from Bartosz Smarslik. This is a good Speedway race, this. Dominik Kubera is third, but you just know that Smarslik is up for the fight here.
Well, I tell you what, Nigel, he very nearly threw it away there. He did very well just to stay on board. The bike was out of control and he was hurtling towards the air fence. Mikkel Mikkelsen, a fabulous start from him. Kubera is now tailed off in third place, but you can suddenly see the actions ramped right up here. The world champion chasing Mikkel Mikkelsen, who's riding a stormer out in front. Got to say, the racing surface is a little unpredictable. Last lap, last time down the back straight.
Mikkelsen giving it a right go here in the blue helmet colour. Has he done enough? It's going to be a heat advantage for Poland anyway, because Madsen has finished at the back. It means that it's a 5-4 win for the Polish duo of Bartosz Smarslik with 3 points, Dominik Kubera with 2, and that puts them on to 19, and it is 4 points for Team Denmark with Madsen at the back, Mikkelsen winning, so it's a 5-4 advantage for Poland there against the Danes, even though a Danish rider won the race. That's a format of the nations. Mikkelsen the winner, Smarslik and Kubera second and third, 5 points to 4 in favour of Poland. They are on 19 now, 2 points ahead of the Danes.
Good race. I thought for a moment Smarslik was in all sorts of trouble. Well, he was, actually. He was in all sorts of trouble, and he did well to stay on board here. We'll watch it again. Mikkel Mikkelsen makes a super start out of gate number 3. Fires himself into that first corner. It's Smarslik down the outside. Now, watch this. He charges into turn 3. The bike picks up there, and I'll tell you what, he's hanging on there. And he did well just to actually drag the bike away. Just straightens up there, and I'll tell you, carrying a lot of speed at the bottom of that straight. It's fast, and he had to really dig in, and the survival mode was kicking in big style. Mikkel Mikkelsen, tell you what, he rode strongly here, because there's no question that Smarslik really did have a go at him for a couple of laps and then settled, I sense, for second place when he realised that his teammate Kubera was in third, and they pick up the 5 points and the 4 for Denmark, but you could just see the intensity was ramped up there massively with these two teams on track, and Neil Madsen will be a touch disappointed to have missed out on the points by running 4th there, but an exciting speedway race nonetheless.
So now we have Slovenia against Finland in heat number 10 of this semi-final right now. And Matic Ivicic is the man in the red helmet, with Nick Skoria in blue for Slovenia, Timo Lahti in white for Finland, and Tero Arnio in that yellow helmet colour. Bikes up at tapes, ready for action, waiting for the green light, and the tapes rise. Who's going to emerge here? It's a good start for Team Finland. Both of the Finnish boys, Lahti in white and Arnio in yellow, have made a good start. Coming around the outside is Matic Ivicic, trying hard for Slovenia. Nick Skoria is the man at the back right now. They could do with a bit of team riding here. The Finns need to look out for each other. A little bit wild out there.
Cool, I'll say. The track surface looks like it's breaking up a little bit. And the bikes are leaping about. Timo Lahti, they're just lifting. We've seen 1 or 2 riders doing that. This is a very powdery, loose surface, and it does do that. It's probably why they were tar packing it so heavily before the meeting started. But track breaking up now, but Timo Lahti in Finland with Tero Arnio in second place. 7 points on the cards here. Ivicic having a go on the outside there, but I just sense that the Finns have got this one covered. Timo Lahti riding strongly. Tero Arnio really having to work hard in second place with the pressure from Ivicic in third.
Yeah, Lahti hasn't even looked over his shoulders once, and Arnio is still under pressure.
Ivicic,
me, yeah.
Ivicic
all over the place.
Having a go.
Well, he's not going to get there because the door has been closed, but that is a prime example of what this competition isn't about. Finland got 7 points, but there was no thanks to any team riding there, really. Or am I being a bit harsh, Kelv?
Well, it's an awkward one, because if you slow down and then matey Ivicic gets both of you, but I do tend to agree with you to a degree. Timo Lahti was comfortable in front, possibly could have eased off a wee bit, but you can see there, just those pictures, how the base of the track is actually breaking up to some degree. That's not good news. That's going to make it a little bit unpredictable, and with Sim boys jumping about. Ivicic gave it his all there, but just couldn't quite get into second.
Nope, so there we have it, with the 11 points all told now for the Finnish side. They're in 5th spot. The top 4 clear cut at the moment, and USA are out in the next race, by the way. So, of course, it's all about the top 4 nations putting themselves in the frame, because the top 2 go through automatically, and then 3rd and 4th have a last chance runoff.
Once again, all the hard work was done from the start. Matic Ivicic was quite exciting here. I must say, he got a little bit out of control once or twice by charging in wide. Tero Arnio there, early doors, was a little bit untidy behind his teammate Timo Lahti. Both of them at points were a little bit out of control. Ivicic giving it his absolute all. You've got to say, there's national pride there. Look at that, he bounced against the fence, he's got the wheel, he's actually lifting going into the corner. I tell you what, that is not ideal at all. But he nearly actually got round the outside of Arnio as well. I mean, that was hectic, to say the least. Look at this. I mean, crikey. I wouldn't like to do that, but he kept it wound on. It didn't deter him at all. It was only Arnio slamming the door shut that deterred him. But fair play to him, he gave it everything.
Yes, indeed. So now we move on to the 11th race of the night. And we have Sweden in red and blue And we have the USA in white and yellow. We're still waiting to see Blake Borello, the USA reserve.
Is that how you say it in America?
It's a proper US name, isn't it?
Blake Borello. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to seeing him ride.
Yes, and he's one of those riders that I'd never heard of until doing prep for this event. Freddie Lindgren and Pontus Aspgren for the Swedes, and Brock Nickel and Luke Becker, the stars in stripes for the USA here in heat number 11.
Absolutely, and got to say that America, who picked up some reasonable points last time with the 4, they're looking for a little bit more than that, but up against Sweden, that's not going to be easy. Brock Nickel just a little bit off the pace in the last one. Can he turn it around here?
Yes, indeed, and it's a good start this time. Freddie Lindgren in the red helmet colour, no major surprise there. He's gone wide and in the drive and in the dirt, but the USA boys are holding second and third here right now with Brock Nickel in white and Luke Becker in yellow. This would be a 5-4 win, and Luke Becker does look over his shoulder. Now, this is awkward for Nickel. Which way does he go? Because he's going to be attacked by Pontus Aspgren. Nickel has gone wide, and Aspgren has got the opportunity up the inside here for third spot, but Nickel holds the line. But it looks as though Aspgren has got more speed here, and Nickel is under severe pressure for Team USA to hang on for third spot, which would give them a 5-4 advantage. But yet again, Luke Becker kicking on.
Well, but in the context of the meeting, Nigel, this is significant because you don't want to be running last places, and when the top 3 favourites, Denmark, Sweden and Poland, running a last here for Aspgren, not good news. No. Brock Nickel not doing Sweden any favours at all, doing favours for his own country, of course. Freddie Lindgren is away, but he's gone down at the back there. That's a nasty looking fall there for Aspgren.
Yes, let's hope he's going to be okay. The race is concluded, and a 5-4 for Team USA, but Aspgren is up, which is great to see. But Aspgren naturally does not finish the race, and that is a 5-4 advantage for Team USA, puts them on to 18 points now. Freddie Lindgren gets the victory for Sweden and puts them on to 18 as well. So Sweden level.
Yeah, well, that
with
might be costly.
USA.
That might be costly because USA have come back into it, but it does mean that when they come up against one of the major nations, Sweden have got to overturn them because they've dropped points there. And as I say, let's hope that Aspgren's okay, because it was a bit of a nasty looking fall coming out of turn 2.
Becker and Nickel pack the minor placings there, and I say Sweden level with the USA on 18, but Sweden do have a race in hand, which is quite significant here in heat number 11 as we build up to heat number 12. I can tell you early news coming through is that Miskowiak is coming up in for Kubera for the Poles in the blue helmet colour. So Jakub Miskowiak coming in for Dominik Kubera in the next.
Yeah, good start from Luke Becker out of gate number 2. Brock Nickel there just forced wide by Freddie Lindgren, but Lindgren's in the right place at the right time in that grip round the outside and fires himself to the front and has a straightforward race for the 4 points in front. Luke Becker is actually quite comfortable in second place. Brock Nickel is uncomfortable in third. Aspgren puts him under a lot of pressure. That was a moment there where Becker could have looked. You can see the inexperience between these 2 young riders from America. Yeah, that's why he fell off. We didn't actually see that, but we've seen it now, and that's an awkward one. But that bike's going to be a bit beaten up, isn't it?
Is that the track, Calv?
Yeah, the track's unpredictable, and what happens is, Nige, is that they try and kill the bikes off, trying to get more grip to get more speed, but when you hit one of those little holes that's out there, the bikes react violently, and that's what happened to Aspgren there, and he got caught out, and he found himself on his backside. Good to see him walking back to the pits, but I sense that the bike might be a bit second-hand.
Yes, we build up to heat number 12 with a couple of programme changes. Jakub Miskowiak comes in for Dominik Kubera for the under-21 ride for Poland, and Hans Grumek comes in for Slovenia as a replacement for Nick Skoria. So the team managers making their moves here. Bartosz Marslik and Jakub Miskowiak for Poland up against Matic Ivacic and Hans Grumek for the Slovenian duo here. I'm looking forward to seeing young Miskowiak, under-21 rider, latest in a long production line.
Well, they've got so many to choose from. I mean, crikey, they're sport for choice in lots of ways. The production line in Poland is huge, and Kubera there just having a rest. He'll be back out, of course. The opportunity to use the under-21 rider here, Miskowiak, and I'm sure he won't let them down. He will go from the inside gate with the world champion out of gate number 3. Interesting to see how Grumek goes here. Never seen him. And to be perfectly honest, I've never heard of him either. So these are massive step-ups for some of these under-21 riders. I do question that, actually, whether that's actually beneficial for them, because it's such a big jump up.
Oh, the tape stayed down a heck of a long time there. Marslik has the advantage early on there with a good ride, and he's joined by his under-21 partner and colleague Jakub Miskowiak, who's going to come under a little bit of pressure here now. That's a tidy ride by Matic Ivicic. We saw him earlier on having a go, but Poland retain that 7. Smarslik hits the fence down the home straight.
What's he doing?
Steady on, you're in front and you're comfortable. What's going on?
I don't think he was looking the right way. That's the problem. He's looking for his teammate, and the bike lifted, and he hit the fence at the same time. Lucky to get away with that, the world champion. Miskowiak a little bit untidy. Track's awkward. Track's unpredictable. Got to say, Ivicic pushing hard in third place, but now they're beginning to settle down. He's having a good look for him, Bartosz Smarslik, but I would suggest he needs to keep also looking forward, because the last time he looked over his shoulder, he clouted the fence down this straight. Into the last lap, Poland going to pull off 7 points here. They're going to remain in control. A little bit hairy at times, but nonetheless, it'll be job done.
Yeah. Bartosz Smarslik on his way to a third win of the night. 21 points overall for the Poles after 4 outings. That will do them very nicely indeed, and a 3-point return for Jakub Miskowiak on his debut Speedway of Nations ride. Ivicic is good value tonight, you know. He's getting stuck in and having a real go for the Slovenian side. They only move on to 9 from their 4 outings. 12 heats gone in semi-final 1 of the Speedway of Nations, and Poland lead now on 26 points, with the USA and Sweden on 18.
That is the name, Hellstrom Bangs. Wow.
Yeah.
And quite excited to see him. Václav Milik will be keen to try and hit the front here. The Czech Republic, well, not going great, and unlikely to make the cut tonight. You've got to believe that. They're only on 9 points after their 3 outings, but it'd be good to see Václav Milik try and hit the front and make Lindgren work hard here. Yeah,
it would. We are going through 5 straight heats before our next break here in this section of the meeting, by the way. It's the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations semi-final number 1. Can anybody beat Freddie Lindgren in the white helmet colour? Oh, the tapes, unbelievable amount of time. Wow, and goodness me, it's good that nobody moved and touched them. And Lindgren's made a beauty, and Hellstrom Bangs, the under-21 rider, is alongside him here. Milik will try the inside run. I wonder if Lindgren will have a cheeky little look over his shoulder to see who's there.
He has.
He has. I'm not quite sure he caught him, though, Calv. It was such a quick glance that...
he knew it was his mate.
Yeah.
Definitely knew it was his teammate. Fair play to Hellstrom Bangs.
Well, he's not slowing up, is he?
No, he's not. He's on the pace. And he's come through nicely, and Freddie there is aware that his teammate is with him, and this will do the Swedes well, because when you bring your under-21 rider in, it is a risk, and of course you can drop points, and if Sweden can pick up 7 here, that is a blow to Denmark, who dropped points in their previous outing with Aspergren. So Sweden looking good here, 7 points on the cards with the Czech Republic. Look at Milik. Milik is tailed off in 3rd place. Not the rider he once was, Nigel.
Can't believe it. I'm not 100% sure that Lindgren's glance was enough to see that it was his teammate, because he hasn't slowed down.
I will reassure you it was.
Okay, well, you're the ex-rider, you've been there, you've done it, I know that.
He would have known that it was, and I think that he's aware that probably the best thing to do is to keep his speed up. He was encouraged by his performance and the speed of the youngster, and Hellstrom Bangs has done a nice job there.
Yeah,
and he's kept his team well and truly in this. And when you, as I say, I reiterate, all of a sudden, Denmark dropping points, Sweden with a 7 points haul with their under-21 rider in the race.
Superb.
Good news for them.
7-2 to Sweden. Lindgren and Hellstrom Bangs with a maximum victory there for Sweden, who propel themselves onto 25 points, and they are just a point behind Poland now. That is a significant result for Team Sweden. Kelv, just talk us through, as a rider, how aware are you of who the rider is behind you? Do you just look for their helmet colour, or what are your thoughts?
You'll be looking at the team suits as well. Helmet colour.
But that wasn't the case back in your day. It was only race jackets, wasn't it?
Yeah, true. And your helmet colour. And he knew it was his mate there, actually. He's looked to the right and he's realised that it was actually Hellstrom Bangs on the back straight as well. He does well here because Milik makes a better start than him. But he looks like he's quite an accomplished rider. He's aware that it's his teammate. Oh, no, maybe not. He did look to the right, but didn't do his teammate any favours on the back straight on the opening lap. It was more the look over his left shoulder as they came out of the bottom corner to complete the lap, that when Freddie realised that his teammate and under-21 rider was with him. But nonetheless, 7 points from that race was very useful for the Swedes. Morgan Anderson will be chuffed to bits with that.
Yeah, we've got the Finns up against the Danes here, and Finland made a big point of saying they do need to take something from this race. They need to pinch points away from Denmark somehow, some way here in the 14th race of the night. Timo Lahti and Tero Aarnio Both riders very familiar to British fans, no doubt, watching this broadcast on BT Sport. And Leon Madsen and Mikkelsen for the Danes. We know that Mikkelsen is guaranteed a place in the 2022 FIM Speedway Grand Prix Series. Here we go with heat number 14. Who's going to emerge? And it's a good start from that man in red, Timo Lahti, and down goes Tero Arnio. And I'm sure that will have to be pulled back as all four riders, the red lights are on, Kelv.
Yep, and Arnio there just getting it wrong going into the first corner there. I sense that Krista Gardell may well exclude him here. I didn't see any contact, but let's wait for the replay. Track has been watered, whether it's just a little greasy. Did he get a nudge? If he got a nudge or not, that angle doesn't tell me, but I fear for Arnio here. This angle might be. Did Madsen just give him a bit of a nudge there?
Not sure.
No,
is that enough to put all four back?
Minimal. It's minimal.
Is that enough to put all four back? That's the key.
I don't think it is. I think he may well get excluded here.
Still looking, Krista Gardell.
Oh, he does get a shout. No, he has had a push there, actually. On that angle, you can see it.
All four back.
Yeah, that's the right call. Now we see that angle.
Yeah.
The other angles weren't very good, were they?
No, all four back. Stop having a go at our replay operator. He won't be pleased with you.
Well, you just couldn't see it. It was just unfortunate. We had to have that last angle because it wasn't conclusive, was it?
Right, so all four riders back then for the restart of heat number 14 in Daugavpils. It has to be said there that Timo Lahti made a blinding start. Really got off the gate really well, didn't he, for Finland in the initial stage?
Did. And I tell you what, Denmark under pressure once again because with Lahti out in front, that's the last thing they want. Sweden have just put the pressure on Denmark in the previous race with 7 points. Tero Arnio just making his way back towards the pit gate. He'll be hoping that his bike can be refueled and whatever else they need to do to it. You can see there's been quite a lot of water put on there, so it's cold and greasy, so you don't want to stay on the ground too long. Just there, just a bit of a nudge. But yeah, no malice in it at all. Right decision now. Now when you could see the fact that he was being pushed on that left leg there, that angle, you can't see how much, but it does actually get hold of his leg there, doesn't it?
Classic first bend incident, isn't it, really? So we'll be back very shortly for the restart of heat number 14. Phil Morris, the FIM race director, will take a look at the situation in the pits and then decide when to put the 2-minute warning on for the boys to come back out. And tomorrow night, of course, the host nation will be here in Dauгавпилс, Latvia. The Latvian side hoping for some success tomorrow night. Australia will be here as well, of course. And a reminder that Great Britain are straight through to the final of the Speedway of Nations because they are the host nation. 16th and 17th of October at the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester.
We didn't have a Grand Prix in the UK this year. Cardiff, of course, cancelled early doors, so this is the biggest event to take place in the UK in 2021. So the Speedway of Nations final is going to be red hot in Manchester.
See you there. We'll actually be there for that one.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to it. We've been up there quite a few times already this year for league racing and the British final, and we haven't had a bad meeting yet. If the weather behaves, it could well be the meeting of the year.
Oh, can't wait. 2 meetings, Saturday and Sunday.
Well, the event of the year.
What a great way to spend the weekend.
All right, steady on.
Well, I was only trying. Just correcting you, you know. Yeah. Get it right, will you?
Sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long season.
Timo Lahti on the inside, his team manager fancies him here. He said we must...
Does he really?
He does, yes. And he said, his words, verbatim, we need something against the Danes. Timo Lahti is our man.
So, Lahti and Arnio up against Leon Madsen and Mikkelsen for heat number 14. And yes, if Finland are going to have any opportunity of claiming fourth spot and a place in the runoff, which effectively is what it is, it's a race-off.
Yes, it is. And
for a place in Manchester.
Pressure on Leon Madsen. Hasn't made it starts well this evening. Last time out, he missed the start there. That's the reason it all got a little bit uncomfortable. Hans Nielsen now must have been in the job, what, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah.
And still looking for a gold medal from the point of view of being a team manager. Won plenty as a rider, of course. Here we go.
Yeah. Just a bit of an untidy start once again. Heat number 14, and it's a good start for Mikkel Mikkelsen of Denmark. Now can Madsen come around as well and join him in the white helmet colour. Second spot right now is Timo Lahti, so he's splitting the Danes, but here comes Madsen. Madsen has got a lot of speed, but a door has been closed by Lahti. He's a very experienced rider now, by the way, Timo Lahti, the man in the red helmet colour. He's really making life hard for Leon Madsen, who's going to try everything over the next couple of laps to try and pass him. He's trying the outside run and almost gets himself in serious trouble.
He's in trouble.
Yep, and he's gone to the back here momentarily. No, he hasn't. He stays third.
Yeah, but that's not good news for the Danes. Timo Lahti coming up with a strong ride here, and he's going to pick up 3 points, and Denmark will drop another one. Oh, Leon Madsen coming in very hot there. I thought he was going to clip the back of him. Big lap for Madsen here. He is winding it on, round the outside, chopping it back. Does he square the corner off? No, Lahti's in the right place at the right time, Nige.
Yeah, lost a bit of ground there, Leon Madsen, and this is a tidy ride by Timo Lahti for 3 points for Finland. Denies Denmark the maximum despite Madsen's late effort there. That was a good ride from Mikkel Mikkelsen for 4 points, 2 for Madsen. Puts them on to 6 points from that ride. That moves them on to 23 in total, and 14 for Finland now after their 4 outings. But that was a good ride from Timo Lahti, but Denmark making it hard work there. Mikkelsen the winner, Lahti second, Madsen third, and Arnio at the back. And that means that it's 6 points to Denmark and 3 to the Finnish side, who are on 14 points. I'm not sure they're going to make the top 4. Not quite sure. They needed a race advantage there, really.
No, they did, but it's not disastrous for Denmark, but it's more points dropped. And Sweden are looking good. It looks like a bit of movement there from Arnio on gate number 3, but he penalised himself, so Christer Gardell does the right thing by allowing the race to go. Madsen got a shove off of Timo Lahti as they got to the first corner, and as hard as Madsen tried, he just couldn't get the better of Lahti. Lahti was savvy here. I thought he looked quite vulnerable riding around the inside. I expected Madsen just to charge into second place, but he couldn't do it. And that's to the credit of Lahti. He gets out of shape here now. Desperation time late in the race for Leon Madsen, who's not having a great meeting. He's not the rider he was a couple of years ago.
He's not had a great season generally, has he?
No, he hasn't. And he's been fit this year, because last year he had back injury and back surgery coming into the season. But it was a bit untidy there from Leon Madsen. But
that guy
work to be done. Work to be done for the Danes if they want to go through in the top 2.
Now, this is a big race for the Americans, Kelf. You've got Brock Nickel and Luke Becker in red and blue. They're still not using Blake Borello quite yet. And you've got Matic Ivicic and Nick Scoria for the Slovenian side. If the USA can pick up 7 points here, they might squeak a place in the runoff. And it's Brock Nickel and Luke Becker who's on a warning, and Matic Ivicic, who's ridden well tonight, has been a nuisance, and Nick Scoria. That's the best way I can describe him. He's been a nuisance.
Not to himself or his
Don't
team.
Don't like my 13,
not to his team. His team manager is actually quite, not like, when you want to get the tablets away. I'll get your homework done. But Ivicic has done well, and he has been a nuisance to the opposition, and he's ridden strongly for his country tonight. But this is, you're right, Nige, this is an opportunity for America to make sure that they put the pressure on the 3 favourites in Denmark, Sweden and Poland. Big race for the USA here.
The USA's 5th outing, 7 points would put them on to 25 and be a big boost in their hopes to finish. Well, what's happened there? Away from the start. Well, it's the Slovenian boys who've made an absolute beauty there with Ivicic and Scoria. This is disaster, absolute disaster for Team USA here. But for Slovenia, with Nick Scoria in yellow and Ivicic in white, Becker's trying hard here. Becker tried to get the pass on the inside, but Slovenia on a 7-2 right now, and Becker comes through. He's trying to split them, but then he's outpaced again down the home straight by Matic Ivicic. I told you he'd been a nuisance. Becker trying the inside run again. Splits them finally for the USA, but it's not good enough for Steve Evans' side.
No, this is an opportunity missed. We didn't actually see the start. We were looking at the trophy, which was bizarre, which was awful, but Luke Becker now up the inside. Luke Becker once again, we missed it, but unfortunately, fortunately for America, got to say that Luke Becker out in front with a lap to go is now pouring away, but Brock Nickel at the back, that's disappointment for USA. Good effort from Becker though.
Yeah, big.
Big bonus for America.
Wow, Nick Scoria bins it on the last turn, and that hands the USA 6 points when it looked like a 7-2 to Slovenia.
Wow, what a turnaround that is, Nigel, and that's a bit of good fortune that every now and again you need. They missed the start badly, although we didn't see it, but nonetheless, Luke Becker worked really hard for his 4 points, and Brock Nickel gifted 2 points coming out of the last corner when Scorgia bit the dust going through that pit corner, but
wow.
Yeah, unpredictable racing here this evening, but for America, wow, that could just be what they needed.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered. You need your luck occasionally in Speedway, and that's exactly what the USA had there to gather 6 points against Slovenia's 3.
Yeah.
And the USA now are on 24 points, well ahead of 5th place Finland, even though Finland have got a race in hand.
Yeah, they'll make 4th,
they'll
America.
Make 4th, and they'll go into a race off for Manchester.
Yeah, absolutely. So fair play. Luke Becker rode a stormer here. Then now we actually see the race start. And super stuff from Slovenia away from the tapes. America was sleeping on the start there, and look how far adrift they are before they even complete the first lap. Got to say that Scorgia and Ivicic were sharp away from the tapes, clear from the Americans. Don't quite know what was going on there, whether they were caught out by the tapes going up very quickly, but Luke Becker well and truly in the thick of the action here and does remarkably well to come from 3rd to 1st. Really has to work hard initially to get the better of Ivicic, but once he gets there, he then takes on Scorgia and comes through into 1st place and wins quite comfortably. And as I say, a nice little gift for the Americans and Brock Nickel when Scorgia fell off in that last corner and gifted 2 extra points for them. Becker riding out of his skin. Here we see the Slovenia going down there, Scorgia, and Brock Nickel picking up 2 points. The Americans have got a chance here now.
Yes, they have, and anything can happen in a one-off race-off, can't it?
Yeah.
You just never know as we build up to heat number 16. We won't be taking a break after this one. It will be after heat 17, and it is Sweden against Poland. Good lineup here with Smarslik in white, Kubera in yellow for the Poles, and for Sweden, Freddie Lindgren and Pontus Aspergren maintain their place, with the under-21 rider Philippe Hellstrom-Bangs already taking his ride and getting 3 points behind his teammate and partner Freddie Lindgren, which was excellent for Sweden.
Well, pressure on here, Nige, now, particularly for Poland. Got to say that both these two teams have been going great guns. Track's unpredictable. That could be the biggest challenge for both teams right now when they really push on. We've seen Smarslik out of control on 2 separate occasions. Here we go, big race.
Yeah, big race indeed, and it's a great start from Lindgren. Aspergren's there as well. This is a test for Smarslik now. Kubera charging hard into 2nd spot. This could be the type of ride that books your place in the nations final in Manchester. Sweden riding beautifully, and the reigning world champion, the world individual champion, Bartosz Smarslik in white, is trailing at the back. Who would have thought that would have happened? Because how's he stayed on the bike?
I don't know how he stayed on, but again, the track surface is unpredictable.
How can that happen?
Well, because the track surface is so unpredictable, Bartosz Smarslik can't believe it. He's been gifted 3rd place, and they're on a 5-4, and that will do Poland very nicely with Lindgren out in front. As I said before the race, the biggest challenge to both teams could be the track, and so it's proved. Lindgren's going to win, but Poland come out with 5 points.
Yeah, they get the race win, 5-4.
Are we doing 5 laps, or is this the last lap? I think we've gone a little bit early there.
Yeah.
But Freddie Lindgren down the back straight, but it's going to be a 5-4. You're absolutely right. Got a feel for Aspergren there, but Poland get away with one there.
Yeah, they win the race, 5-4. Move on to 31.
Wow, that was wild.
Well, it looked as though it was going to be a 7-2 to Sweden. And then Aspergren fell, which is really quite remarkable. So... yeah, a bit of a blow for Sweden there, I would suggest, all about finishing in the top 2.
But it's not a complete disaster.
No, it's not.
They're only 2 points behind Poland on 31. Poland are on 31, so it's still tight between those two. But it does give Denmark a little bit of an opportunity to bounce back. Now, both of those teams have dropped points there.
Yeah,
I tell you, that track surface, Nige, is not great.
No.
And I'll tell
that
you,
shouldn't be happening in a World Championship event, should it?
No, because the surface here is not good. It's got nothing to bind the material together, and it's breaking up.
Now, Denmark have got a race in hand, you can see, but the top 4 are pretty much clear-cut right now.
Denmark gets 7 points in the next ride. They're right in it.
Yes, all about the top 2. Who makes the top 2 here? Smarslik's been left at the start there, Kelv.
Yeah, he rolled and then he missed it. And Gardell's done well there. Kubera around the outside, and Freddie Lindgren's away after making a smashing start. And the Poles don't get away at all well, Smarslik in particular. Kubera on the outside, back in after they used the reserve with Moscoviak last time. It's a little bit untidy now, and we'll see all of a sudden. Look at this. I mean, crikey, Aspergren, how on earth he stayed on. Also, Kubera's having hard time in second place. It really is bad news around there. And the Swedish team are pleased with that. But I tell you what, you're taking your life in your hands at times. Freddie Lindgren, well, a puff of the cheeks. I think that's about as much as you get from Freddie.
He's just pleased to be here, I'm sure. I can tell you here in heat number 17 for the Czech Republic, Petr Šlupak is coming in, the under-21, and he's replacing, can you believe it, Václav Milik. Milik, who was a world-class rider up until a couple of years ago, has been taken out of heat number 17 by the Czech Republic with Petr Šlupak going in.
I tell you, that pretty much sums it up. Timo Lahti and Tero Arnio, the unchanged Finnish team here, up against the Czechs, but that does reflect on their confidence levels and where Václav Milik is. Something's got to change there because he's a rider that's got a lot of talent, and it's a shame to see him out of form.
So we will have a grading break after this race, and then we'll do the final 4 heats to establish the top 2. And then we have the one-off race-off. Here we go, heat number 17, and emerging into that first turn, the Finland boys have made a good start here. That's nice and tidy from Timo Lahti in the white helmet colour. Tero Arnio is with him, and they could really do with Lahti looking over his shoulder for the Speedway of Nations team riding, which is such a huge feature in this event. And charging through in red here, really working hard and pushing hard in heat number 17 is Šlupak, the under-21 rider.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
there we go again.
He's out of control there. He did well to ride through it.
Yeah.
But this is a massive 7 points for Finland. And this is going to give them half a chance, possibly, of closing in on America. And Czech Republic really are struggling with these conditions, particularly Šlupak there, very untidy through turns 1 and 2. Timo Lahti out in front, looking really accomplished and composed. Got to say, Tero Arnio in second place. Well, he hasn't always looked convincing, but I'll tell you what, they're going to pick up. Oh, once again, he's a little untidy there.
Well, they're going to be 2 points behind the USA with 1 race apiece remaining. They could do with hanging on for the 7 here. That's exactly what they've done. Team Finland, Timo Lahti and Tero Arnio get a maximum. That's just what the doctor ordered there. And guess what? I just put 3 points by the winner again. It's 4, of course. So 7 points to 2. And that puts them on to 21 points with 1 race left in heat number 19 when they're up against Smarslik and Kubera. Good luck with that.
Yeah, see how you go.
Yeah, so heat number 18, 4 heats to go to decide the top 2 who automatically qualify for Manchester. And then we have a one-off race-off. Madsen and Mikkelsen for the Danes, Blake Borello, the under-21, and Luke Becker is the combination for Team USA, who are on 24 points right now. They are a point ahead of Denmark, but significantly Denmark do have that race in hand. So in this final batch of 4 races, Team Denmark appear in heats 18 and 21. They won't give up hope.
No.
Of a top 2 finish.
Of course not, because it's still mathematically well and truly on. But Leon Madsen is going to have to come to the party if that's the case. He's missed out on the last couple of occasions. They have the quality. Both of these riders are Grand Prix riders, of course. Mikkel Mikkelsen in next year, and Leon Madsen, he's in this year, but could well rely on a pick for next year, that's for sure. He's not in the top 6. Mikkel Mikkelsen riding strongly here this evening, but Luke Becker, could he prove something spectacular here and win this? Wow.
Well, I can tell you that if Denmark get 2 7-2s, they will pip Sweden to automatic qualification for Manchester. So there's your simple task, Hans. 2 7-2s.
They got Sweden in their last ride.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's easy, but they've made a good start there. Team Denmark, Madsen and Mikkelsen, and they're ahead of the rider in yellow, Luke Becker. Oh my goodness me! Look at this! I can't believe it. And Luke Becker has charged through to the front, and the man in the blue helmet colour, Mikkel Mikkelsen, clearly shaken up by that. That was.
How did he stay on, Nigel?
Absolutely.
Oh,
and now Madsen's in trouble. What is going on here?
Oh, the track's nearly unrideable. Mikkel Mikkelsen did very well just to stay on board. Blake Barrera, you've got to feel for him out the back. Luke Becker has just charged to the front. I'll tell you what, we've been struggling for 4 finishes here.
Well, Becker's
Luke
looking
Becker
good.
is looking terrific. He's taken the bull by the horns, riding very nicely out in front. At this stage, has got it all under control, but at a couple of moments there, Mikkel Mikkelsen very nearly got off the back of the bike. We're lifting violently down the straight. And Leon Madsen also struggling to stay on.
Well, it's going to be a 5-4 race advantage for Team Denmark, a 5-4 win there. That means that the USA finished tonight on 28 points. Blake Borello is going to come round and finish the race.
Well done. Well done. I tell you what, he's had to wait all night. It's freezing cold, difficult conditions, and he picks up 4 laps and he completes the race. Well done to him.
Yeah, Blake Borello of the USA. We do like our American riders, certainly on the British scene and throughout Europe. They are very, very popular, charismatic, colourful riders. And let's hope that we see Blake Borello in league racing as well.
Well,
Leon Madsen second, Mikkel Mikkelsen third, but both Danish riders in deep trouble at one stage there. But USA have finished their outings with 6 raced, 28 points. Denmark are on 28. And it looks like the top 4...
could be the race-off.
Yeah, could be. Could well be.
That could be a dress rehearsal for the race-off. Leon Madsen not happy. Hans Nielsen going to have a chat with him about that. But both of the Danish riders on 2 different occasions completely out of control here. Mikkel Mikkelsen, who lifted violently. There, he did it again. Look at that, all the way down the straight. That costs him dearly there, Mikkelsen. Watch him. He looks over the shoulder, bikes up in the air. And I tell you what, how on earth he stays on. And that's what he did when we had that accident in Voyens with Freddie Lindgren. Very similar scenario. Got to say that is wild. He does well to stay on board, but he goes from first to third. Leon Madsen now also out of shape. He does well to stay on, Nige. Does very well to stay on. Luke Becker is the benefactor of the Danes getting all out of shape. Clearly, track conditions very difficult. Leon Madsen...
I thought he was off there.
I did as well. So they were lucky to finish and a touch fortunate to get 5 points. But yeah. I think that America and Denmark could be racing for the final spot.
Well, Sweden are on 29 and Denmark are on 28 now. And in Heat 21, we have Denmark versus Sweden. That is going to be a fascinating battle. Smarslik and Kubera for Poland here, Lahti and Arnio for Finland. And what this does mean is that if Poland get a 7-2, they win the meeting.
Yeah, well, that's what they'll be looking for. They want to get this job done as soon as possible. Far from ideal conditions, difficult conditions, unpredictable. And with so much big speedway to come for certainly somebody like Bartosz Smarslik, he won't want to get in too much trouble here this evening. A job to be done here now for Poland.
Yeah, in actual fact, a 6-3 for Poland would do it. They would win the meeting. They've got 1 foot in Manchester. Arnio jumps the start. Surely the red lights are on. They are indeed. Dear me. That was a proper gamble from Tero Arnio of Finland. And he's going to get a warning, I'm sure, from Krista Gardell. So I'm assuming that the rules for the Speedway of Nations are the same as the GP. They've got 1 minute to get back to the start now.
I do hope so.
No reason why not.
Absolutely.
Yep. 1 minute on from Phil Morris. And a warning to Tero Arnio. No major surprise there. I do hope somebody like Tero Arnio has a sense of humour and says to Phil, What's that for? What did I do?
Me? What did I do? I tell you what, I think he has got a sense of humour. We just saw him looking at the camera earlier on.
Yeah.
When we were on a break. And this is all a Brucey bonus for him, isn't it? You know, Tero Arnio, with all respect, he's not a world-class rider. He's not going to get in the Grand Prix. Representing Finland at this level is something that I'm sure he thoroughly enjoys. And Timo Lahti and Arnio have done themselves proud. They're not completely out of it, but they can get to 28 points if they get 7 points here.
Yes, indeed.
But it's unlikely against Poland.
I think so. Bartosz Smarslik and Dominik Kubera against Timo Lahti, and I warned Tero Arnio.
Here we go.
So heat number 19 it is here. Can the Poles win the meeting in this race? 6 points. Oh, he's done it again.
He's penalised himself.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. What on earth was he playing out there? The red lights have come on again because he will be excluded. I'd have just let it go. Get on with it. He's last. He's stone last.
Did he touch the tapes?
Yeah, he's gone. So we've got to have a delay now, whereas he was going to finish last anyway, wasn't he? Oh, well. Yeah, off to the naughty step. Tero Arnio. I just don't get this. I mean, what is he doing?
He's trying to cheat the referee, but he can't do it.
Not when you're on a warning, especially. I don't even think he's touched the tapes there. No. I don't know. If I was Krista, I think I'd have just let that go.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, silly man, Tero Arnio. That means that the maximum that Finland can get here is 4 points.
Shame, really, because they could have moved it well. No. Oh, well.
Don't be silly.
I think, yeah, I've just got ahead of myself. I've just realised what I was about to say.
Well, at least you stopped before saying it.
They weren't going to get 7 points, were they, against these two? But it's just made the job a little bit easier for Poland. Timo Lahti is still a threat, because Lahti has ridden well in his last two outings. If he makes the start, then Poland will be desperate to try and find a heat winner. So, third time of asking, with Zmarzlik and Kubera for Poland, and Timo Lahti now all on his lonesome. He'll be coming out of gate number 2. And I don't know if they've got the electronically generated starting system here. I don't know. Possibly they have, but there's been a huge discrepancy in the starts at times.
It has indeed, and away this time. First time of asking into that first turn. It's a predictable good start for the one and only Bartosz Zmarzlik. But here we see Timo Lahti splitting the Polish duo. But this 6 points will put them on a 37, and the maximum that Sweden can get is 36 right now. So
they'll win it.
Yep, this will look good for the Poles, although it has to be said that Denmark are on 28, so they could still technically catch them, but realistically this should win the meeting for Team Poland here with Bartosz Zmarzlik in the driving seat.
Yeah, every chance. I think this is just what they wanted. Kubera's taking it steady. I think that Zmarzlik is delighted to be out in front. He's having a good look for Kubera, but Kubera's not doing anything daft at all back in third place. Timo Lahti has ridden really well for Finland. His last 3 outings have been really strong. We're into the last lap now. Zmarzlik and Kubera are going to get 6 points out of this one. And, well, effectively, whether they win the meeting, they'll definitely be second. They're going to win it, but they're through to Manchester, so job done.
Yep. Team Poland will be there, and barring injuries, we will see Bartosz Zmarzlik. Will he be 3 times champion of the world? We will see him at the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester on the weekend of the 16th and 17th of October. Poland move on to 37 points from their 6 rides in this qualifying round, and the maximum that Denmark can get now is 35. So that'll do for Poland. 37 points, as you see. And Denmark are on 28, so Sweden are on 29. So Poland now confirmed as winners of this semi-final in Daugavpils. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, Dubrovki will be pleased, and that's job done for them. Not an easy night in some ways, because track conditions were tricky. And Bartosz Zmarzlik making the start when he needed to. Kubera coming through with only 3 in the race. It was quite comfortable in the end. And no major surprise. They were favourites for tonight, the Poles, and they have duly delivered. So they can now focus on the 16th and 17th of October in the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester, where they will be very keen indeed to win the gold medal, the Poles, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2 special days at the National Speedway
Stadium. Well, it's 42 heats of spectacular action. Whoever rides for Team GB, I'm sure they're going to do us proud, but there's no doubt that the Poles will come to do the business, and they will only want to come for one reason, and that's to pick up gold medal.
Yes, indeed. Heat number 20. Matic Ivacic and Nick Skoria up against Václav Milik and Petr Šlupak. Šlupak, the under-21 rider, gets another outing here for the Czech Republic. And this will be his 3rd ride of the night. He's got 2 from 2 rides. He replaced Milik in his last outing, and now he replaces Pepe Frank. So a good bit of experience for the Czech youngster.
Excellent stuff, and Šlupak hasn't disgraced himself at all. There he is, the youngster in the red helmet colour. Milik back in this time. They're just sort of swapping them around, and their evening is over effectively now. White helmet colour for Václav Milik. He's always had the yellow and red bikes throughout his career, but this race effectively is for pride, really. They won't affect the overall result. Here we go.
Yes, this is heat number 20. Big race coming up after that, Denmark and Sweden. That's a really good start for Matic Ivacic, who has been good tonight, but riding hard in the white helmet colour here in heat number 20 is Václav Milik. Really charging hard now with the man in red in heat number 20, Matic Ivacic for Slovenia, and his partner Nick Skoria is alongside him. The Czech Republic reserve in yellow, Petr Šlupak struggling this time around. But as you say, Cal, heat number 20 is all about pride. We will not see these 2 nations in Manchester on the 16th and 17th of October.
No, we won't, and Milik has now come back into the team and is riding well out in front. And the Czech Republic just going to pick up 4 points. Slovenia there will pick up 5, so they're going to have the advantage over the 4 laps, and the score with Šulpek, the under-21 rider from the Czech Republic. Crikey, you got very close there. But this is a confidence-boosting ride for Milik. I'd like to think he can take some positives from this one.
Yep, that is game over for the evening for the Czech Republic and Slovenia. And Czech Republic finishing on 17 points tonight, which is a disappointment for them.
I think they both do, don't they?
Yep, 17 for Slovenia as well. Also Rans, I think it's fair to describe them as tonight.
They're a long way away from the top 4 teams here this evening. And we have seen better from the Czech Republic in the past, but it's not to be at the moment. But Slovenia come out on top there with the 5 points for second and third.
Yes, so overall we see Poland on 37, Sweden 28, 29 even, and then it's 28 and 28 for the USA and Denmark. So 1 point splits Sweden and Denmark. And effectively we have a shootout for second spot coming right up, Kelv.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And these are the bottom 2 teams, with Milik, who makes a good start from the outside there and rides nicely in front, hangs on to the bike. It's very difficult in that first corner. They don't quite know how to predict how the bike's going to work out. The Slovenian pair then slotting in with Ivicic and Skorja just second and third there. Ivicic has ridden quite nicely tonight, and Šulpek there coming in for his third ride this evening, having a go at the back but can't quite get amongst the points. That's a shame for him, but nonetheless they are done and dusted for the evening.
Whoever wins this race, now here's a scenario for you. If it becomes a 5-4 to Denmark, then Denmark will finish level on 33 points with Sweden, but because Denmark won the race 5-4, they would go straight to Manchester, and it would be Sweden in a race-off with the USA. So that's the scenario. Sweden have a 1 point advantage over Denmark. So, to put it in simple terms, Lindgren and Aspergren against Madsen and Mikkelsen, the winners of this race. You can't have a draw, remember, because it's 5 for a win. Sorry, it's 4 for the win, 3 for second, 2 for third, nothing for finishing last, so you will not get a drawn heat. So whoever wins heat number 21 is guaranteed finishing second in the meeting behind Poland and going to the Speedway of Nations final in Bellevue.
A big race, and both these 2 teams, the manager Morgan Andersson from Sweden said they didn't want the race off, and it's come down to this head-to-head between the 2 Scandinavian sides here, and heat number 21. So it is a nervy moment for everybody concerned, and Freddie Lindgren, who's done a great job for the Swedes this evening, can he get his nose in front now? Massive race this is.
All about finishing second and third here, I would suggest. And Sweden have made a good one with Lindgren, but what can Aspergren do now? Denmark in a spotted bother, but here comes Mikkelsen around the outside. Aspergren! Oh, Aspergren is not. That mistake is going to be costly, because Denmark are now on 5 points to Sweden's 4. That would finish level on points, but with Denmark winning the race 5-4, that would take them to Manchester, and Mikkelsen wants to do it in style. Oh, steady on, boys. Mikkelsen and Lindgren, steady on. We know what happens with those 2.
Leon Madsen out of control. Aspergren coming through. No, just about recovers. Leon Madsen clearly not comfortable. Certainly once again, he's out of control again. That opens the door. Aspergren and Leon Madsen. Madsen winding it on. Both of them out of control, Nigel. Aspergren now in front of him. Oh, there's a lap to go. Which way's he going to go?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's bumps, there's awkward situations. Madsen can't ride the bike. Madsen cannot ride the bike, and Aspergren's coming through as well. This is for a place in the Speedway of Nations Grand Final. Sweden are going to win the race 5-4.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that was shocking.
Oh, that's a 6-3, Nige.
Sorry, yes.
Freddie Lindgren doing the business. But crikey, it was exciting for all the wrong reasons from a rider's point of view, with the riders in third and fourth, Aspergren and Madsen, really struggling with conditions. Those 2 boys out in front who had that dramatic crash in Voyens just last weekend, they coped with it quite nicely. But Leo Madsen will be desperate there, because he's got to go out again.
Yes, so huge drama with a win for Mikkelsen, and well, drama in the extreme with Sweden joining Poland, and it'll be Denmark and the USA in the race-off. Here we go, it's the qualifier, the race-off. By virtue of the fact that Sweden won 5-4 against Denmark, it means that the Danes have to go into this with Madsen and Mikkelsen, and Nicol and Becker are the USA representatives. We know that Poland and Sweden are already at Bellevue on the 16th and 17th of October, and now it's a straight shootout between Denmark and USA. 4 for a win, 3 for second, 2 for third, nothing for finishing last. We know we cannot have a drawn heat here.
No, we can't, and it's just over 60 seconds to decide who goes through to the Speedway of Nations final in Manchester in a month's time. Denmark, of course, the red-hot favourites here, but the track is difficult, and there's no question that it's a little bit of a lottery there. I wondered whether Hans Nielsen was tempted to put his youngster in here, because Leon Madsen has been really struggling in his last 2 outings, and he's failed to score. And he's got to really dig deep now. Brock Nickel under a lot of pressure. Luke Becker really relishing the challenge in here this evening. So we've got real drama here at the end of the night.
Steve Evans trying to stay cool alongside Lawrence Rogers, part of the Team USA setup, all down to one race. How they would dearly love to make it to Manchester. But Denmark, with their rich history of success on the world stage, it's a great start from the Danes. Mikkel Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen. Now, can Madsen ride the line to deliver the goods? But this is such a good start now, and surely it's only going to be an error, pilot error or an engine failure that will stop Denmark joining Sweden and Poland at Bellevue.
Brilliant start from the Danes, Nigel. Got to give them a lot of credit. Leon Madsen in particular, he struggled in his last 2 outings. He really meant business there. Smashing start from Leon, flew away from the tapes. Mikkel Mikkelsen is there right alongside him, and Becker and Brock Nickel just cannot hang with them. They're going through in towards the last lap, 2 laps completed. And Leon Madsen really got his bit between his teeth here.
He's attacking the track.
He's attacking the track, you're right. He's showing great tenacity. And Denmark, with a lap to go, will go through to the Speedway of Nations final.
Well, it's as we thought when you make pre-meeting predictions. It is Poland, Sweden and Denmark who are going through. A gallant effort by the USA to get into 4th place tonight on 28, and I'm sure we'll see lots more of them going forward. But it's Denmark who joins Sweden and the meeting winners Poland. We now know 4 of the 7 nations for Bellevue and the Monster Energy FM Speedway of Nations finals weekend. We know it's Poland, Sweden, Denmark and of course the host nation, Great Britain's Speedway team.
Wow, a bit of relief there in the Danish camp. Those are sort of tense moments you'd rather avoid. But you've got to believe that Hans Nielsen's men, when he really needed it, they delivered. But they made him sweat, didn't they? Because they slipped up once or twice in the previous races. But there we see the final standings with Poland, Sweden and Denmark going through to Manchester.
37, 34, 32.
Well, we now know first qualifier in the Speedway of Nations is done. That man, Leon Madsen, doing the business when he really needed to.